Alright, so what are we going to find in the throne room today? Looks like we've got some fairy water, the stones of sunlight, and the magic key. Do they have return? Well, they have a giant pile of magic points, but no spell, so they're going to have to burn that key. And they're going to take their first look at the overworld, and there's an Axe Knight. And that is a very angry Axe Knight. Meanwhile, AA found the noodle. It's the wyvern. And he's going to go up. That is quite a substantial. He's going to go from 1 to 5 off of just 96 experience. And, of course, the wizard doesn't care. So AA also picked up a spell. Didn't get to see what it was. Oh, he's got Hurt More as well. So yeah, he is definitely off to the races right now. And Larry just... There's the Axe Knight again. And AA manages to bump off this knight, and the knight also has in the neighborhood of 93 experience. Gets ambushed by a Drakema, though, and AA is back to the start. Meanwhile, AngryLarry still hasn't seen a wyvern yet. And, holy cow, AngryLarry has just entered debug mode. So, I think, yeah, he's gonna just reset here. Fortunately, didn't lose very much progress, but still annoying that he has to crack open all those treasure chests again. AA managing to hurt more that Druid Lord, but finds the bad news. 7 experience. Worst prize. Let's see if this Demon Knight's any better. Well, it's very good in the gold department, near max gold, but only 27 experience, so probably won't be killing a lot of those either. How about the Drakema? 74 experience, 110 gold. Pretty good. Alright, well, the Drakemas were alright. We'll see what the regular Drakeys have in store. How about a Hurtmore? How about another Hurtmore? And a free trip back to start. So Larry's still looking for the noodle, but he's making it out to other areas right now, which is probably going to work against him. Got simultaneous scorpion fights, and one runs away from AA, the other one punches AngryLarry into the ground. And AA finds the first town, and we've got Breckenary. And what does Breckenary have? A very, very reasonable full plate for about 323. And he's probably going to pick up that large shield as well, and an assortment of herbs and dragon scales, more than likely. Meanwhile, Larry's still looking for the noodle. Has not seen a wyvern yet. Not having Radiant yet, so he's going to pick up a stack of torches and dons that dragon scale. Larry's still stuck at level 1. Runs into another scorpion, and AA finds the... well, he finds the jerk. And he finds a goldman, and the goldman knows hurt more. So see how you like it, buddy. Oh, he doesn't care, and AA's dead. It was kind of crazy that Larry is making really good progress as far as avoiding encounters at the exact time when he doesn't want to. Finds a red slime, though. And looks like the red slime doesn't have very high strength, but unfortunately has very high agility. Alright, looks like Axe Knight has a lot of health, so A is going to go with the double hurt more strat on this, and we'll see how much experience. 48 experience, not really worth it. Probably going to run from those from here on out. Alright, A is also going to take a shot at this wolf here, and the Spectre is going to take out Larry, send him back to the start. So hopefully Larry doesn't think that the red slime is the noodle. Certainly has low enough strength to be, but that would lead him on kind of a wild goose chase. So a quick 1 through 6 for AA, but level 7 is proving to be, or level 8 is proving to be a little in the distance there. We'll see if this wizard, 198 experience, but still not enough for a new level. And he takes out a Golem, and a Golem has 97 experience, but 223 gold. So pretty solid overall. Probably will be seeing him fought quite a bit. Out the front door, Larry runs into a wolf, and back to start. And AA seems to have pretty efficiently used his magic. He is out of Hurtmoors at this point, right outside of town.
Hello there, Edgeworth. So, can I get a quick catch-up on what action I've missed so far?
Hey, Ryu, right on time. So, as far as a quick recap, in the first 11 minutes, AA instantly found the noodle. It was a wyvern with very, very low agility and low strength for 92 experience, and has also found Breckenary, got Hurt More and Heal More somewhere in the first 5 levels. And yeah, you'll see exactly what happens with Larry's level up.
Not too bad. Yeah, I do see Larry does get himself a level up, so good timing on my part there. It looked like definitely a pretty nice level up for those first 4 levels too.
Yeah, Hurt More and Heal More, giving him a lot to work with. Unfortunately, Axe Knight is pretty stout and is just going to wipe him out in one shot. Meanwhile, AA finds Cantlin, but neither player was able to save their key at the beginning, so no early coordinates. Looks like a very cheap broadsword, though.
Yeah, sometimes if you can get those coordinates early, and it's not too far away from the castle, it can definitely be nice. And wow, that castle location, not really anywhere to go except for up, it looks like.
And Larry finding out that everything that was easy runs away from you when you gain 5 levels in one battle. So he's going to take out this Druid Lord and find out the bad news that it is just empty calories.
And that seems pretty typical once you do gain those first few levels, especially the stats that they got were actually decent. A lot of those early enemies that were being nice enough to you to stick around and let you get a kill, they do like to run away now.
Alright, well, Larry finds the first fun police, and they seem to be just as irritating as in vanilla. Maybe not instantly killing you, but certainly eating 3 hurt mores. But, oh wow, that's certainly worth it. 204 experience.
Wow, yeah, definitely. A little beefy, but easy enough to kill since they don't do much to you. Maybe a little bit later, once they get some more attack power, might actually be able to just swing at them for some good kills. But wow, those wizards hitting for 21 though.
Very fortunate that Larry survived with 1 HP, because he's going to find out that they're the second best enemy we've seen so far for experience at 198.
And a dual battle going here with the Drakey on AA and a Druin over on AngryLarry's side here. Looks like the Drakeys aren't given much though, and he tries to run away from the Druin, and Druin says, "Nope, I'll do it for you." And stereo wyvern fights. Not too much on the experience, but good gold if you can find something nice and cheap.
So I think the major item people will be saving up for is the Silver Shield, which was in Breckenary for 3,831 gold.
Oh, so it's not our usual 10 gold Silver Shield, but 3,000 definitely not bad at all, considering its normal price of 14,800, and Druin Lords with Dragon Lord Breath. So, Druin Lord Breath?
I mean, the abbreviation still works. It's DL2 Breath, right?
And then Rogue Scorpions with the Baby Breath, which will take out AngryLarry and send him back home as well.
So AA getting mostly empty calories, but that new spell might be useful. We'll see what it is, probably the next time he gets into a battle. Looks like it was Sleep and Repel. So some very useful spells.
Wow, Demon Knight's given almost max gold at 254.
And Larry's going to get some revenge on the Scorpion, or at least he's going to try to, provided one of these hurt more sticks. And only 31 experience.
Yeah, not much there. Let's see what this wolf does. Still a lot of gold from that wolf, and 67's not too bad early on. Oh, and Magic Drakey's being rude with the stop spell.
Just wait until I find my armor. You'll be sorry then.
And Seawolf noting that at level 10, that MP count is really nice.
Yeah, both players going with the strength HP build, but starting out with a ton of MP, and that stat just keeps going up. Larry's going to find Breckenary, but we'll see if he survives to make it there.
Yeah, 103 MP at level 10, that's ridiculous. But HP only 46 for the max level 10, so ways to go there. And Droll Magi giving 240, nice. And there's some of that HP with another 15 MP, but 22 HP is definitely nice to see.
And now Larry's going to help himself to the full plate and the large shield.
Yeah, not bad on that. 13 gold large shield, I'd definitely take it. Ooh, Goldman punching for probably about an average of 20 looks like here, and also with hurt more. So not going to be wanting to play with Goldman too much.
Now those guys were not messing around, and as soon as the stop spell hit, I think I would have taken the coward strategy.
And only 821 to go from 12 to 13. So far these levels looking pretty nice here as experience-wise. But if that HP doesn't pick up a little bit more, might be seeing some longer grinds depending on how much the experience required is.
He's at 71 at 12, and kind of the magic number, provided their agility isn't in the tank. So we'll see. That very well could be the bottleneck stat, though, that causes them to grind a little longer than they normally would need to.
And no Radiant for this cave, but he does have a torch, and looks like we're going to have Tablet Cave, so we can see what our one chest here gives us.
In the meantime, Larry scares off a warlock, and he's going to find the jerk.
At least easy enough to find Jerk Cave.
And spotting Cantillon as well.
Still no sign of Rimildar, so unless they find a key in one of the caves, still gonna have to find Rimildar to be able to get access to the coordinates and the treasury, along with the one basement inside Tantagel as well.
So that could be a very big find if either of them finds a treasure cave and dives it. Those one-off magic keys can really swing the course of the game.
Yeah, sometimes it's that one key you happen to find before you actually make it to Rimildar that just, if you've got some extra gold, go back to the castle, buy some keys. Seeing a lot of desert and a lot of hills here, though. That's going to be making for, at least until they can utilize Repel fully. It's going to make some tough navigation here.
Oh, that Magiwyvern was huge. 254 experience and 100 gold, and Rimmeldar. So AA
Speaking
is
of
really
which,
in the driver's seat.
And we'll also get to see what our one chest here in Rimmeldar gives us. Werewolves going down to a Hurtmore for 200 though, not bad. And AngryLarry also runs into a wizard right afterwards, so that'll definitely help him with getting a little caught up in that experience gap.
Back-to-back good fights for Larry, and I wonder if he's just going to stick around this area or he's going to continue exploring, because that was a pretty good enemy group so far.
Yeah, I would definitely, if he's not going to stick around, which looks like he's going to go ahead and keep exploring onward, but I would definitely make a note of that area, see if maybe running around those hills can gain you some good monster groupings, and he does find himself a Magiwyvern over here as well. So that'll be a nice 254 for him, and that should get him his level, and yes it does. Hey, we got an Armor Knight.
First one of the game, and he is pretty high in the agility department.
It doesn't hit for too much so far, though. Pretty high in the HP department as well. 1 Hurtmore not taking him down. And yeah, not much worth there. 34 experience, 26 gold. And that does have AA going back to the castle, so we'll get to see what our treasury holds, along with what's in the basement. Easy gold for they wanted to set up a gold grind. Some fairy water, looking like kind of a lackluster, and a curse belt. So yeah, kind of a lackluster treasury, but we do have a Hawk's Nest spotted by AngryLarry now. He does have heal more and hurt more, a little bit low on MP, but if the boss is at least decently nice, he should be able to take it down and see what we have in Hawk's Nest.
Yeah, certainly if you're here, you want to take a shot at it. And we're going to see what's in the Tantagel basement in a moment.
Well, there's a decent look at some stats. Not looking too bad early on here. And we do have a Star Wyvern. Oh!
He went first, though. Not good.
Yeah, hitting for 38. Ouch. Looks like the Grave in Tantagel basement.
All right, so that's a ready-made gold grind right there. And if AA finds a gold chest during his exploration here, he may just be able to pick up the money for the silver shield without even leaving the castle.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, on your next death, just dip down into the grave, grab the 3 chests, and head back upstairs. And I mean, yeah, easy gold grind for sure.
Question in chat, did he not have herbs? I think he does have herbs. He was just hoping to save a little bit in the way of resources. His max HP at 8 is 43 right now, so certainly if he gets 1 more level or 2 more levels, that'll make that fight a lot easier.
Oh, we got our silver harp in the grave, and there was a gold chest, along with... Oh, and Erdrick's sword.
Alright, so the basement is loaded.
With only needing the token as far as items to be found, I can't really see AA going deep into the basement to check the remaining chests, since you do still have the coordinates, you have coal, you have hawks, and then that means that unless he hasn't found one of those, probably won't be seeing too much of Mountain Cave here either.
Looks like AA was pretty fortunate that red dragon stuck around. His morale wasn't super high. I guess the the strength versus agility difference was scaring him off earlier.
And well worth it if you can take it down for that 204, which will get him another level. Not too much on the HP that time around as well. Only a 5 gain there.
This floor's grouping, though, as far as the monsters he's been running into, wizards, red dragons, and werewolves, has been pretty incredible.
And Larry is in Rimmildar, so he'll be getting his keys.
And he's also going to check the shop, and not anything that he would want to buy. So no cheap flame sword here.
Yeah, so far these enemies in the grave have been, at least if not nice in the experience department, they've been nice in not dealing too much damage and easy enough to take down. And I mean, even 74 for those Drakemas isn't bad. And AA is going to go ahead and dig the 2 chests, so we'll get a good look at that, and he'll just grind on the way through.
Yeah, with Eric's sword, he's able to take out those wizards in one shot.
Hopefully, here soon we might be able to get a stat check, see what the attack power is at right now.
Takes out the werewolves in one shot too, so this has been incredibly efficient, and I really don't blame AA for diving. Even if it's a low chance of the token hanging out in one of these 2 chests, the monsters have just been so efficient, it's like doing a mini grind.
Yeah, I mean, you can't blame him for doing it. And I mean, it could pay off and, you know, and actually have the token in our last chest in the very bottom here. And even this red dragon, he's a little beefy to take down, but I mean, it's still well worth it. It's only 2 hurt mores for 204, and he doesn't do any damage to you, so... And unfortunately, currently does not have the outside spell, so he will have to walk his way all the way back out, but, I mean, with these experience-rich enemies here, I mean, I'm sure it's not going to bother him one bit.
Larry gets the stop spell from the Magidrake, and now instead of punching, he's just going to play with his food.
Well, that'll send him back to his castle, but he'll be happy to see the treasury, and even more happy when he gets into the grave and sees the other items to be found. And then we do still have, I'm sure, once AA is done here, along with AngryLarry, once he goes into the grave and gets his goods, I'm sure both of them will be making a beeline for Cantlin. Possibly for AngryLarry, possibly Hawksness, as AA has not found that yet.
Yeah, as far as the spots that he can search, Cantlin will tell him, I think, pretty quickly whether or not where the armor's located. Because if the old man says there's no coordinates, then he knows it's sitting at Hawksness.
Right. Well, it could still be on Cole as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too bad on those metal slimes. 157, and using heal more at such low damage being done to him. But it looks like AA is gonna skip that very bottom chest.
And Larry's gonna skip the grave, it looks like. Oh, I wonder if he's gonna do sort of a cheap grind to get the silver shield.
It looks like he might have just misstepped a bit there.
It has certainly happened to me on more than one occasion. But if he does die during this dive, then he can do the gold grind afterwards. So, not a bad strategy overall, if that's what he was planning.
Yeah, Zarnax makes a good point. Could be setting up that gold grind chance, because with getting those 3 chests and then dying back in, he can definitely grab that gold chest easily and get enough gold for that silver shield.
Yeah, looks like AA has enough for that silver shield just from fighting all of the monsters. Question in chat: how much was the silver shield? It was 3,831, and it was sitting in Breckenary, the first town that both of the runners saw.
And we have AngryLarry, who will be picking up his silver harp and his Erdrick sword. Is definitely going to be happy to see that. And we'll see if he decides to dig or just go ahead and go straight back down. And nope, he's going to dig, so that'll actually be good for him. While AA gets some exploration going, he can get some experience caught up here, hopefully, if this Drakey lets him. And does not.
Yikes. It's probably the worst enemy to run into out of anything that was down here.
Well, he'll get his gold grind going and probably go ahead and grab his silver shield as well. Especially since he's got the big stick. The only thing he's worried about now is going to be finding Erdrick's armor, which he knows where Hawksness is. He knows where Cantlin is. So I can't see him grinding up any money for purchasing any armor. Not that we've seen anything more than the full plate.
So, all that AA is looking for at this point is the token and the armor. Could also use the Staff of Rain cave somewhere as well, but
yeah, definitely will need that.
Exploration. And it looks like we're gonna get a coordinates check.
Yeah, it does. Skips out on exploration, so you can go ahead and get those coordinates. I mean, I can't see any reason not to. Like I said, I'm pretty sure he's going to make a beeline straight for it, and that's exactly what he was doing after he got his silver shield. Plenty of MP for heal more, so you can survive these barrier tiles, which do 15 apiece.
And 93 max HP. So
that's still a little low.
At level 14, though.
Oh, no cords.
There we go. Now we know Hawksness is significant.
Yeah, Hawksness and Cole. Possibly, though, one of the two may still be empty, because that token can still be in either that last chest in the grave that we didn't see, as well as in one of the caves in the mountain, or one of the chests in the mountain cave, or the 3 chests in the back of Garenham. I mean, there's still plenty of chests to check. It could be in any one of those.
So Larry picking up that silver shield, and he also grabbed quite a bit of extra money. Presumably there was something in Cantlin that he saw that he wanted to pick up as well. Maybe a magic armor.
I didn't see one, but I mean, if there was one in there, it's not a bad option to give you that extra boost in survivability. It does reduce the hurt more and hurt damage, along with giving you that 1 HP every 4 steps, even though it has the same defense power as the full plate, if I remember correctly.
Larry just outright resets because losing half his gold on the way to Cantlin is not something that he was willing to accept. That silver shield again.
Yeah, he must have found something that he was interested in, so yeah, it has to be magic armor. There's nothing else that he could possibly want to buy, especially since he does have Erdrick's sword, so it's not a weapon. Alright, so AA is going to be on the search for Hawksness and Cole right now to try and locate both his token and his armor. Also still does need to find the mountain cave for checking that for the token, along with Garenham, which could be one and the same. I mean, you might find Garenham and find the mountain cave. They'll both be in the same location.
Level 15 for AA. No more hit points, though. Sorry.
Another MDI hit point. Yeah, still gonna need some more levels then, and our levels are starting to stretch out a little bit here, as he hit that just under 6,000 for level 15.
See if Larry gets some revenge on this red slime here.
Or it'll run away.
And Larry, is he going to reset again? Yep.
So yeah, them Star Wyverns.
Yeah, so I think level 10, there was a big HP boost, and just being stuck at 8-9 right now is really hurting Larry.
Yeah, that I think it was a 22 HP boost at level 10. I think is what it was. And this Magidraki just does not want to go down to AA, but it hasn't cast Stop Spell yet. And, well, it finally does go down for not much, only 58 experience and 12 gold. And I didn't quite see what the spell list was there, but I think we are still missing one.
Smashy in chat making a good point. Of course, there's going to be a million Star Wyverns in Charlock.
It's definitely possible. Usually, when you see those tough enemies, they're usually the ones that are going to be in there. Probably Drakies as well. And yeah, it does look like Outside is still missing here, so we are still missing that one spell, which will come on level 16.
So AA takes him down for a grand total of 50 experience.
Yeah, not worth your troubles for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of a rough combination. AA finding Hawksness. If fighting your way down to Charlock to get maybe one last level is a strategy you use often, you may have to leave that one aside this game.
Yeah, I know I've done it a few times myself, but yeah, sometimes those enemies they're just either not worth it or they're just too tough to deal with. Oh, nice. Let's see if he can get his Star Wyvern kill. Did take out AngryLarry, but AA does have significantly more HP to use this time here.
Yeah, AA can definitely run heal more strats on this to make it a perfectly safe fight.
Well, as long as that hurt more will actually land.
And I think just the hurt resistance is something you'd be worried more about if you didn't have, a truckload of.
Yeah, I'd be looking here just to see if I could get a sleep on it, and then that might be the strategy. If these are in Charlock, sleep strats would definitely be a thing. So we are going to see what our item here is, if there is one. And it's our token. So we know Cold does need to be found in that case, and that will hold the armor. As AngryLarry gets the bad news that he walked all over these barrier tiles for nothing.
Oh, and being stuck at level 9 again. He's got to burn time by burning Healmores.
And his stream, I think his stream cut out a little bit there. But I did see him purchase something in that shop, so I guess he did find the magic armor there. Maybe when he checks his stats, we'll get a chance to actually see if he did in fact purchase that. AngryLarry looks to be like he's going to go ahead and make a beeline right back over there for Hawk, since he does know exactly where it was located. Unfortunately, trying to run from these red dragons, which we know that they give quite a bit of experience here.
It is the magic armor. His HP just went up too from getting punched in the face.
I mean, that's the only thing it could have been. Ow, and there goes that Druid Lord breathing fire again.
Damn DL2 breath. So right now, a substantial experience lead for AA, and it all comes pretty much from the combination of getting that early start and his exploration through the grave. Oh, let's see what AA finds here. This might be Mountain Cave. And if so, I think he's just going to turn around and leave.
Yep, and he does go ahead and leave the mountain cave. I mean, there's nothing more he needs to find since he has his token, so he's only really looking for that Staff of Rain cave at this point.
Only thing that would be nice to find would be the Death Necklace, but with HP totals being so low, probably not worth it.
And at level 16, I missed what he was at there, but I think it was 102.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does finally have at least enough HP that diving Sharlock wouldn't be an issue, but definitely not enough to use for a Death Necklace run.
Yeah, lands asleep on the Star Wyvern first try, so that may be the strategy.
That's definitely, like I said, it's good news to know if you can land asleep on those, since they are one of the tougher enemies. And generally, from what we've been able to see, those tough enemies, along with maybe some of the weaker ones, do appear in Sharlock. And AngryLarry does manage to get away from that ghost, which was giving him just a really rough time, but does find Cole, so he'll be our first person to find the armor. Might be kicking himself a little there for saving up for that magic armor, though. But he does get his Erdrick's armor at least.
And hey, a Droll Magi, probably the nicest thing he could have stepped out of town and found.
Especially since those are worth 240, and that's going to get him up to level 12 here at least.
Yeah, and there's the HP bump, 14.
Yep. Personally, and it looks like he might be actually doing that. I would say personally, if I'm AngryLarry, I'm going to hang around here and try to get some more of those Droll Magi. You know, with having the desert there, I mean, it does have the increased encounter rates. And I mean, even those wyverns going down easy for 95 is not a bad idea.
Oh, of course, they're going to start running away now.
Yeah, typical. And we have a cave here for AA. Is this going to be our shrine?
No, this might be Swamp Cave.
Yeah, Swamp South.
Yeah, neither player finding it, so we'll see what's on the other side.
Well, we'll see if this is just going to be Sparkover Continent, or if maybe our... because we haven't seen Sharlock either, so the Sharlock could be over here as well. Along with Garenham, which I think by process of elimination... Well, there's Garenham. I think that means that our Staff of Rain has to be in the back of Garenham here as well.
I think Vanilla Stones of Sunlight Cave also hasn't been seen.
Oh, okay.
But 50-50 shot, totally worth checking out.
And he'll probably go ahead and grab these chests as well, just to see maybe a fighter ring or if the death necklace is there. Although I can't see him wanting the death necklace with his health count. But the MP count, 141, wow. Heal mores are not going to be an issue. And we got some wings. And the fighter's ring.
Alright, good pickup.
It's only an extra 2 attack power, but I mean, it's an extra 2 attack power.
And as far as the Dragon Lord math goes, that sometimes an extra 2 attack power is all you need to make a pretty significant shift in your damage potential.
And yep, there is the Staff of Rain guy. So he'll be picking up his staff. The only thing he's going to do is find his armor and return to the Jerk Cave, and then locate Charlocks. So hopefully he will explore this continent a little bit more. And speaking of the Stones of Sunlight Cave, we have AngryLarry find the Stones of Sunlight for just an herb.
So it looks like AA is gonna continue looking around this continent a little bit, but it looks to be just really tiny.
Yeah, it wasn't really much to find there, but it did have Garenham, which was required.
And I wonder if he's just going to head straight out. I was wondering if he was going to take a look at the monster in the guarding the princess just to see if it would be a good grind spot.
Well, we have level 17 here with, a 10 power, 12 speed, not too much on the HP, and MP at this point is, it's just extra. It's not necessary, but it's extra.
Alright, so I think stat-wise, if he's not there, he's real close.
Yeah, with that nice 10 power boost, he's got to be real close to that butter zone of that around about 130 that you typically want to be in a normal run. But even in chaos, 130 is still, with this MP count, is more than enough for Dragon Lord 2.
Right, meanwhile, Larry is gonna stock up on some items in Cantlin.
Well, looks like he's gonna offload some of those cursed belts that he's got.
And some extra dragon scales.
Yeah, and some of those extra dragon scales as well. Yeah, he's definitely got plenty enough herbs, so he doesn't need to pick up any of those.
Okay, he wanted some torch room. Probably wants to save MP for Sharlock dives.
Yeah, I know he has Radiant, but never hurts to have an extra torch here or there. That way you don't have to use, even with as high MP count as we have, that way you don't have to use the two, and maybe that takes away a heal more, maybe it takes away an extra chance for a stop spell, a sleep.
Yeah, and I think stop spell and sleep are really what the, especially with the way the run calculation is in Sharlock now. Sleep
right
comes in huge.
Yeah, those sleep strats definitely come in handy. I know. Oh, hey, we have Sharlock sighting.
Alright, so AH first to find it, but has no idea where Cole is.
That is a long way away, too. That's a heck of a trek. And doesn't even have his rainbow drop yet to where he could take a peek inside, see what awaits him either. And we do have AngryLarry heading back into Hawksness. He did know exactly where it was, so he'll be able to go pick up his token here.
Yeah, and he has enough HP in store now and magic armor to hopefully survive this fight. Actually,
he picked the Berserk's armor, yeah. So he has that extra added defense from that as well. Plus, I don't think the Star Wyverns had any breaths, but if it did, that would also give him that 1/3 damage reduction for the Dragon Lord and Baby Breath as well. But yeah, it still hits like a truck, though.
Yeah, yikes. This might be...
Hey, looky there. That's a Sparkover bridge if ever I saw one.
Sparkover Island.
That's a double Sparkover. You can't even access it. That's of all the seeds I've done, that's the first time I've seen just a little piece of land out there with a bridge for whatever reason. And AA is back up by the swamp cave, just trying to explore whatever he can here as he takes all this damage from this large amount of swamp here that we've got. It's not a big swamp seed, but there is definitely plenty of swamp to go around.
Yeah, AA probably feeling like he's playing Zelda 2 Randomizer right now.
Yeah, those swamps can be pretty massive. I've seen some of those.
Larry finally taking down the Star Wyvern, and he went through almost all of his MP, so he's just... That guy was not messing around.
Yeah, those Star Wyverns are definitely tough. I wish he would have tried to sleep on it just so he'd have that information. With those tougher enemies, it's always a good idea to give it a try.
And looks like the Stoneman took your advice and threw sleep on Larry.
Yeah, I see that.
So yeah, that is a very, very twisty, turny route to get to Sharlock. And yeah, AA has explored as far as he can in that direction and is working his way back towards the castle right now.
And Paul is noting that AA does have that information, as he was able to successfully sleep a Star Wyvern. So if those do appear in Sharlock, or if it happens to be guarding the Dragon Lord, he will have that extra tidbit of information. And AA finding Rimildar again. Probably take a peek at the shop here. And no magic armor in the Rimildar shop for him, but he'll go ahead and cast his Repel, take a quick night's rest, and then get back on the search again. Ooh, there's a cave buried deep in a swamp.
Yep, so Larry's going to find Mountain Cave and see if he decides. No, he knows instantly just from doing the wall bump what cave it is, and is just going to leave.
Yeah, I think the only cave, and AA does find coal, so he'll get his armor now. But I think the only cave AngryLarry is looking for here is going to be a swamp cave for the extra exploration. So yeah, AA is all he has to do is go pick up his rainbow drop, and he can head right on into Sharlock.
105 HP, 148 in the magic point department. AA is pretty well set, I would say, to take a run.
And DH Storm asking, does AA have the Staff Rain? He does. It was in the back of Gernham on the second continent. So he did pick up that Staff of Rain. As he picks up his rainbow drop here now, and I haven't seen a stat check. Hopefully he'll give us a quick look here.
Looks like he's going to go back to the castle and maybe use a repel.
Nope, no stat check for us.
Alright, so AA beginning the long and twisty route towards Sharlock.
Oh, my apologies. That's Stom. I always those R's and M's they merge together, and sometimes I confuse them with each other there. And yeah, we will have AA heading to Sharlock. I guess he's seen his stats at some point, and he feels pretty comfortable with it. And up to NG asking no Erdrick's armor. We do actually have on both of them. They have both picked up Erdrick's armor, which was located quite a ways away in Cole. And Larry not getting kicked out of the Jerk Cave, as he does have the token. Strangely enough, if you have the token, the Jerk does not kick you out. But if you don't have the token, you have anything else other than having a token, he will kick you out. Not sure why the token's the deciding factor if you deserve to be kicked out or not.
And first enter Sharlock, AA, at 55 minutes. So, pretty quick.
And almost a hero run, but he will find a Druid Lord, which we do know have that Dragon Lord breath.
Oh, yikes. If he's getting stymied and running away, this next attack could have been it for him.
And they
So
are
he's going to
susceptible
use
to
the
sleep,
sleeper.
though, so that's good to know.
Yeah, so there's going to be burning a lot of sleeps, I think, on the way down. And AA wisely using a torch instead of Radiant to save that 2 MP.
Yeah, but plenty of MP to go around for those sleeps, and he does manage to run directly away from that Star Wyvern. We'll see if he's as lucky with this Magidraki.
Now, the Magidraki, if they're biased on casting Stop Spell, he's got free reign to just run away.
Pause noting that they do have quite a large MP count, but the issue here is if it's one of our beefier Dragon Lord 2s that has a 200 plus HP, depending on what their attack power is, they may need a good 12, 13, 14 heal mores, which is going to put them in the that 100, 120 MP needed for that.
Yeah, the other issue being if it's a DL with sleep and high resistance.
And there is a level for AA.
So another 2 strength, and it's always good to see it come in pairs because that's going to move the Dragon Lord math a little bit.
And AngryLarry does see his swamp cave, so hopefully he does dip in there. He'll notice it's swamp and take a trip to the other side so he can get his Staff of Rain, along with the Fighter's Ring if he so chooses to go ahead and pick up those chests.
Looks like before diving in swamp, he's gonna check out the surrounding area a little bit just to make sure he doesn't miss anything.
I've been known to do that a time or two. See a cave, like, okay, anything else nearby, just in case it's a death cave.
I mean, you never know when you run into a town nearby as well. It makes the cave exploration a lot easier to do.
Oh, but he dips out of the cave.
Oh, bad news for Larry.
I'm not sure why, if he's dipping into these dark caves and checking to see what it is, I'm not sure why he doesn't just dip out instantly then, since he knows he doesn't need any chests.
I wonder if he feels like because of how massive the continent is, the original continent is, that this can't possibly be a map with an island.
And AA will take his first death in Sharlock, finding out that we need about another 1800 experience to get our next level here.
Oh, it's either that or if Larry is counting caves, and he thinks that he's seen... Well, that would be interesting. If he thinks that he's already seen Staff of Rain Cave and just lost it, then he wouldn't continue going through because he knows it just pops out into Garenham.
Well, he does find his Sharlock, so he'll have that information at least. Pause noting that maybe he misidentified the cave. He has been in, at this point, all except for the Staff of Rain. So maybe he mistook it for possibly being the grave of Garenham, and that's why he dipped back out of it. It just seems interesting because it doesn't make sense for him to move around to see what the cave is, and then dip back out of it if it's not a cave that he's looking for.
Yeah, I think at some point, just not checking that cave or just casting outside to work to the other side, that's just bad luck and a mistake. And I guess we'll find out during the post game what his thoughts were. It's just speculation.
That'll definitely be a good question for Larry to see, what his thoughts were on there. But he does find himself a nice werewolf grind spot. That'll help him with getting caught up in this pretty substantial experience lead that AA has, almost 3,000 ahead of him. But at 200 apiece, that is easily caught back up to.
So, werewolves and wizards in this desert tile. Pretty good spot to grab some more levels. And
along with those red dragons if they decide to stick around.
Yeah, so Larry has made up some significant ground already on the experience lead. He was at one point almost 4,000 behind.
Pause. AA's first trip down, he ran into a star wyvern that just did not like him and sent him back home. And we do see there are plenty of Arbor Knights who don't hit for much, but they're not too friendly on letting people run away either.
Yeah, and the red dragons seem to be mandatory usage of hurt more, and we'll see if they stick around. They tend to run away just an annoyingly large percentage of the time.
And he will get his level, gets that substantial speed and HP increase, which will definitely help him out.
Yeah, that's a huge boost right there.
And sleep not having too much of an effect on these armored knights. Oh, well, there it goes that time.
So if AA takes another wipe at the rate that Larry is leveling, he'll be caught up or very close to it.
And making great effect of that repel spell, keeping any of the weaker enemies away. So he's only running into these enemies that are worth it. But it looks like he's going to go ahead and run away from that for now, get some more exploration done.
Alright, and he's headed back up to that cave right now.
And he'll go ahead and snag himself another werewolf along the way. Okay, yeah, he's on the right track now. He does realize that is Swamp Cave, so he's going to go ahead and make the trek through there, and he'll definitely be happy he did when he finds that it's Garenham and has his Staff of Rain cave.
Oh, I wonder if he wanted to get a couple of extra levels to see if he would get outside first.
Oh, that's true.
Just to save time.
As he does get level 15, which won't hold outside, but does hold some decent stat gains. Well, 0 on the HP, but it does have some decent gains on the strength at least. And unfortunately, that outside spell hiding at level 16 as AA finds a ghost. It doesn't hit for too much, but seems to have a decent amount of HP and doesn't take much of a hit either.
Larry getting blocked by a stone man.
He does get a stop spell, so it won't be able to sleep him anymore at least. And he is definitely caught up. He was about 3,000 behind. Now he's only about 1,700 behind. So he's definitely had a great gain in XP for catching up here.
Metal Scorpion, 237 experience. Haven't seen that at all on the overworld.
Yeah, that's the first one that I've seen so far, and definitely worth killing. Didn't take much to do it either.
Yeah, second to the Magi Wyverns, and here's the guy that got him last time.
And AngryLarry does find his fighter's ring, so he'll go and put that on for the extra 2 attack power. And AA getting quite a bit further this time, only a couple more floors to go till he hits bottom. And AngryLarry will go ahead and get his Staff of Rain. So I wonder if he's going to just take a... well, we get a stat look. He's at 126. So AA is definitely well over that 130 attack power count. Yep, he's just going to go straight back to the castle and go get his drop here. And this encounter rate for AA.
Just 2 more floors to go.
Alright, that gets AngryLarry his rainbow drop, so other than maybe, I don't think his max HP is quite where he wants it to be yet. But maybe a little more HP, a little more attack power, and he is going to be essentially in go mode as well. Yeah, HP 93, attack power 126, so a little low on the attack power, but MP counts plenty fine. Defense is actually really nice looking as well. But that HP count's going to hold him back, I think, at least for one more level. It's not impossible, but ideally, you do want to have 97 HP, as that guarantees that you can take 2 max 48 hits from Dragonlord Breath from Dragonlord 2, and still have 1 HP left. Whereas 93, you run the risk of 1 breath doesn't quite kill you, but the second breath will, and only 695 away, so yeah, it won't be long for him to get that level.
Gosh, and those metal scorpions, where were those the entire seed?
Yeah, but that level 19 seems to be a fair amount away.
Still have to see what the Guardian boss is as well.
Well, if it's a red dragon, they won't have to worry about fighting it, it'll just run away. And I think that's our first Wraith that I've seen anyway.
Yeah, definitely the first instances on this floor.
And it'll just run away. Doesn't do much, takes a hell of a beating. And there we go with another one of those metal scorpions, which we know are worth a whopping 237. If he actually does manage to get a level, it can only help him with the extra agility for the defense, the extra attack power, the extra health. Won't help him with the MP since he won't get that recovered. But the other stats will be useful.
Probably the worst one to run into on this floor.
Yeah, those Star Wyverns they're something else. They just hit for so much.
Yeah. Kind of hoping that he wasn't the Guardian, but of course. Who else would it be?
Yeah, that's going to cost him a little bit more MP. So he's going to be heading into the Dragonlord fight at 116. It's not a bad amount to have, though. Alright, so let's see what our Dragonlord 1 does. Will he hit like a truck? Will he spam hurt more? Or will he be paper thin? Or will he breathe Dragonlord breath? Ouch!
Oh god.
Oh, a double dose even. And he hits for just as much.
And dodges too? This is... yikes.
Dragonlord 1, the real boss here. It's like doing a Dragonlord 2 fight before you ever get to Dragonlord 2.
That's basically what this is right now, and he's running, and he has heal.
Oh, and it has heal. He has low health, but he has heal.
So AA's just not going to be able to do this without throwing out a stop spell or getting a crit.
I don't believe Dragonlord 1 can be crit. But unless he can get him to not heal for a turn and get that extra damage in, he needs to take him out. Which he does get on this one here, but wow, takes him all the way down to only 10 heal mores for the Dragonlord 2 fight.
Yeah, 10 heal mores, and he is not in double attack range at the start, so that takes away, that's quite a lot of damage potential left on the table there.
Yeah, but hitting the Dragonlord 2 for plenty here. He's at 39 already in just 2 hits.
On a hit for 24 on top of that.
That's going to get him up to 86, so almost at the minimum threshold already.
Oh, and he does get a double attack.
That's going to put him at 111 here. Ooh, a little bit of a low roll there, but still a good hit. Gets him up to 126. $131.
And that's it.
Yep, 150 will do it. And AngryLarry heading back to that nice grind spot next to Sharlock.
Not a bad idea. The HP boost at 16 is certainly going to come in handy, but Larry's going to see the bad news in IRC and get out your GGs for AA right now.
Yep, that's going to have AA with an official SRL time of 1:10:47. As we have Larry getting ready to head into Sherlock, but he does see the bad news here.
And it looks like he's going to give it one shot. So, very good effort by Larry overall to try to catch up after really just getting buried at the start. Unfortunately, just not enough time.
Yeah, but I mean, still a valiant effort by Larry. I mean, he was definitely well behind in the experience, had a little bit of an exploration lead, but definitely did catch up quite a bit there towards the end. But yeah, so that does go back with AA, and ouch, those Dragon Lords with that Dragon Lord breath sending AngryLarry back.
Yeah, the DL's not to be trifled with this seed. Just got to put him to sleep and eat the 2 magic points worth of sleep cost.
Yeah, but yeah. So that did come into play with AA there, though. Ended up with a low MP count, only having 10 heal mores for that final fight with the Dragon Lord 2. But did have well more than enough attack power to be able to take him down quickly with the amount of damage he was doing. And AngryLarry will get his level 16 with that whopping 14 attack power, the extra 9 HP, 11 magic, and gets his outside spell finally. So that puts him at 140 attack power. So yeah, if he's at 140 at 16, I can only imagine that AA was somewhere between the 150-160 range.
Yeah, and I think 150 sounds like a reasonable number considering how consistently he was hitting 25s.
Yeah, once at 150 range, that gets you. I don't quite have the math, but it gets you, I think, somewhere between about 16 and 28, 29, something like that. Or no, about 15 and 28. I think I saw the lowest hit was 15, and a max hit I saw was 25, I think. And we are joined by AA, so GG AA, great race.
Thanks. That was one heck of a seed in a lot of different ways. I was really worried when Cole was easy, and I found it.
Yeah, and how about that double Dragon Lord 2 fight at the end there?
I mean, you're saying double Dragon Lord 2 like that second guy was anywhere near as strong as the first guy.
Oh, that's true. Dragon Lord 1 was the real boss here, dealing 40 plus in regular attacks, and then hitting with Dragon Lord Breath, plus, had the troll heal. But at least the health count wasn't nearly as high as it could have been.
Yeah, Star Wyvern being the Guardian was also really bad because I know of no realistic way to kill Star Wyverns this seed other than double hurt more in a physical, because they have what has to be absolute max HP, really high agility, good power. That is an enemy that rolled high on everything.
Yeah, those Star Wyverns were definitely brutal.
Yeah, like, experience was funny this seed too, because all the easy stuff gave a ton, all the hard stuff gave almost nothing. The world was super spread out, which mostly was good. It was just a shame Cole was so close to home and it took me so long to find it, especially with the overworld just being, if it wasn't a desert, it was a swamp.
Yeah. A lot of hills, a lot of desert, a lot of swamp.
I am really happy with how it worked out, leaving Garen's grave without the last chest, though. So I'm like, I have enough gold for a silver shield. I don't know outside. And if the token is not in the chest, I really don't care what's in the last chest. Let's just walk out of here and get a silver shield.
So how did you feel about your chances overall this seed? Just stepping, I think it was 2 steps out of the castle and finding the noodle monster?
Yeah, when I had level 5 at 103, which was really 53 seconds, and 103 is when I confirmed it was actually level 5, that was pretty incredible. And then it came with Hurt More. I was expecting like a 40-minute seed as soon as I had Hurt More at a minute in the race. But then there were other things to deal with. But I never was worried at any point. In fact, I felt ahead the entire race until I learned where Cole was. That's when I was really worried, but I kind of figured, well, Garanham was in a really terrible spot. There's a lot of just nonsense on this overworld, stuff that can kill you, ways you can go back, forth, waste your time, etc. I'm just going to play like I have a shot, because if Larry's ahead of me, he's probably deep enough in Sharlock, I can't catch up anyway. Let's just operate under that assumption.
Yeah, interesting enough, I mean, you were correct. Larry did have the armor. He found Cole before you did. But he was a bit behind in exploration and a bit behind in experience. And when he found the swamp cave, initially he ran out of it, went and gained a few more levels before dipping back into it, and then did go ahead and find Garanham on that tiny second continent that we had.
I was sad that Cole was not on that second continent with Garanham. I really thought it was pretty likely.
I mean, there wasn't much else to find, and at that point, I don't think you had found Sharlock yet. I think Sharlock was found after you left the swamp and went back to the main continent.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate sequencing, too, when I made that really long walk to find Sharlock, which was in the last major area of the overworld I hadn't cleared out, and then Cole wasn't next to it, so I just kind of had to carefully recomb. It's like there's some corner of some area that I haven't looked, and it's, near the edge of it. And sure enough, just north of, I think it was Tablet Cave.
That had to be one of the smallest continents that I've seen, if not the smallest, in the tournament so far. Just going through the swamp cave and finding, you can go from one end of the island to the other in about 5 seconds.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
Garanham's
almost
supposed to be a fortress, right? I mean, I can't think of a more secure fortress than putting it on an island.
True. I mean, that continent almost fit all on one screen. Not too often that an entire continent you'll be able to see it on just one screen. I was a little curious because you did go grab that second chest in the not the second chest, but the first of the 2 chests in the grave. So I was a little curious as to what your thoughts were on leaving that last one behind. If that was just it's one chest. I've still got Rimuldar, no, not Rimuldar. Sorry, Garanham. I've still got Mountain Cave, and then of course when you did find Mountain Cave, it was like, don't need this. Have everything.
Well, when at the point I was in the grave, I already had the stones, the harp, and the early grave gave the sword, so I knew there were a bunch of chests left, and even more, I knew as long as the token wasn't in a chest, which at that point, I knew there were no coordinates, but I didn't know anything about Hawksness or Cole. Obviously, one of the 2 had to be the armor. The other could be either the flute or the token, or nothing, I guess, but that seemed unlikely. So I was like, okay, I have enough money for a silver shield right now, and I'm going to die if I go to the bottom of this grave. Not even a guarantee I get to the end. So do I want a silver shield and just assume this chest is not token, or do I want to get this chest and probably never have an easy time to get silver shield again? And given how things worked out, I'm not making it through that Sharlock without that silver shield. So I think that was a big payoff, even when you discount the time savings and not doing the last chest.
Yeah, having that extra 10 defense with the amount of damage between the Star Wyverns, and then of course Dragonlord 1 just hitting for all he was worth. I mean, it definitely paid off having that extra 10 defense. What were your thoughts going in early on, prior to that big HP gain? I mean, you had tons of MP with over 100, but the HP was just still sitting, I think, at 49. What were your thoughts going in into those levels?
I mean, I was honestly feeling pretty good about my situation because I had enough HP. The only thing that was really going to one-shot me was DL2 Breath, and I think Druin Lord was the only enemy I ever encountered that had that. And Druin Lord was not a common enemy. So that was fairly safe. I had Heal More, Hurt More, and approximately 1 million MP. And for weaker monsters, just so early on, I had good gear. I had a broadsword, full plate, and large shield super early. They were all really cheap, and I found the towns pretty fast. So I wasn't really that worried about combat. I knew I'd eventually get a big health dump. I'd also eventually get a big strength dump, and that'd work out. I was more worried about the exploration, and given what this overworld was, that does seem to have been the thing.
Yeah, it was definitely a rather lengthy exploration. I guess one of the more connected continents, because the map does, when it generates, it does have usually areas that are just off and can't even be reached. It has areas that have mountains that block you from ever exploring there, so you get blocked that way. But there wasn't a lot of area here that was blocked. It was a lot of exploration in all different directions. And then we had that. I'm gonna call it a spark over island there with the two pieces of land and the bridge, and then a forest tile. I'm gonna go ahead and just call that.
I mean, I saw that island and I had a feeling that it would be appreciated, but like this overworld was kind of crazy too, because most overworlds are one of three ways. Either the castle's at the edge of the map, so no matter what you have to explore, you're starting from a corner, or the overworld's actually open and you can just kind of travel around freely, or it's really well divided between two continents, so that actually really narrows your search in effect. This one was basically one continent. It had a little island the Swamp Cade led to. The overworld, it didn't have like mountains, but it was like snake-like paths were just little bits of ocean tile and stuff would ever prevent you from crossing between the paths. So you just had to do these really long walks to get anywhere. And the castle was in the middle, so you were never sure whether you were walking on a really long walk toward what you wanted or very, very far from what you wanted. But there was some upside because return came early.
Yeah, and then even getting to Sharlock, you had just that one piece of land connected by a bridge to even be able to cross over to there.
Yeah, and you walk through just this absolutely massive swamp. There was a
Yeah,
point where I started doing the math in my head of how much better do my stats need to beat this game without the armor, and that swamp had a somewhat downward effect on my already dismal view of the ability to beat this game without the armor.
yeah, I did notice you were definitely avoiding a lot of the swamp early on. Even though you had heal more, you had a lot of MP, but the HP count was really low, and there were still plenty of enemies that were just hitting you really hard early on as well.
I mean, my philosophy on that, and I'm sure other people look at this differently. Like, it's not so much that I'm unwilling to go in the swamp, but if I have two places to explore, neither of which I've been yet, one is in swamp and one is not in swamp, all else being equal, why would I check the one in swamp first?
Yeah, fair enough. And I mean, it turns out the only thing that was actually buried deep in swamp was Mountain Cave, but there were a few areas you did have to travel through some swamp to find. Like Hawksness, you had to walk through some swamp before you could get to it.
And then, of course, the world's largest swamp on the way to Sharlock. That was a very big swamp just in that northern area.
Yeah, I noted on your way through there. I think I noticed like, wow, is this a big swamp here? There's a lot of swamp. But yeah, I mean, solid race. everything did seem to kind of fall in line there. The enemies were, for the most part, friendly. And other than the Star Wyverns, um, Sharlock wasn't really, too bad of a trek. It was just really heavy
Let's not
encounter
be
rate.
kidding about Sharlock. That Sharlock was unbelievably horrible. On top of the Star Wyverns, so you had armored knights. You had no hope to punch through them. It took like 6 hits to kill them because they had sky high HP and agility, and they did double digits to you. You had Druid Lords in there who had DL2 breath. You had the Magidrakis that were completely non-threatening, but were going to take 10 rounds every time one of them popped. Basically, every encounter in there, other than the Wraiths, was just terrible. The only saving grace was the MP in this seed was just so absurdly high, you could just spam sleep your whole way down.
And don't forget about the metal scorpions too.
Yeah, I was gonna say there were. Yeah, you did have
the
those.
metal scorpions where you get the relatively low cost of just eat a hurt more and get out of a fight.
I mean, the nice thing was with the Dragon Lord, the Druid Lords, the Star Wyverns, they were both easily put to sleep. Even the Armored Knights weren't too difficult to put to sleep and run from. So I mean, there's definitely a lot of easy sleep run enemies, but the encounter rate was definitely up there.
Yeah, that was kind of. I don't think I've ever cast sleep that much in a run, but the seed kind of led you to it by giving everything sky high agility and HP and rock bottom sleep resist. If DL2 was bad though, like if Dragon Lord had sleep in his second form, like I figured I had to grind and I knew level 19 was close, but I felt like I'd already gotten most of the gains from leveling, so I wasn't sure how deep that rabbit hole was going to go.
Yeah, I feel like your trip through the grave and just taking every fight on the way through, that opened up a significant experience lead. The monsters in there were just so efficient.
Yeah, the grave had, the instant kill for 200 experience, werewolf, and some other dude who was really easy. And then they had red dragons, which were a pain in the rear end, but were worth over 200. And then you had Drakima and Draki, who were stupid, but that wasn't that big of a deal.
Well, overall, it was definitely a solid run. I mean, 110. We've seen some really, really horrible ones that have gone 2+ hours. So, I mean, 110 is not bad at all. Any other questions for AA there, Edgeworth?
No, I think we covered just about everything.
Yeah, thanks guys for commentating. Tournament's been a ride so far. I was talked into entering it an hour after the sign-up deadline, and I'm 3-0, so that's a thing, I guess. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I guess I'll see everyone in bracket.
Sounds like a fun time. Definitely glad to see that you entered. Glad you're enjoying it too.
So yeah, congrats to both Larry and AA for making it into bracket. Good luck to both of them on their upcoming races.
And coming up here in only about 23 minutes, we do have another race. Escapes my mind at the moment.
Looks like it will be Z-Man versus the Seawolf on Randomania 2.
Yep. So that will be Z-Man and the Seawolf, which will be, as Edgeworth noted, on Randomania 2. I will be doing commentary as well for that one. Not too sure who else may be. If someone else is available, I'm sure they will definitely let us know.
So I think that just about does it here. Any other comments before we wrap things up?
No, I think I'm good. I just want to say be sure to go ahead and give both AngryLarry and AmazingAmpharos a follow. Our other commentator, Edgeworth, along with myself, J.K. Allen working in the background on our restream as well as tracking. Be sure to take a look at the tournament brackets, which will be coming up once this round 3 finishes, along with the schedule for other events that are happening here on the Randomania Network. We do have coming up on March 23rd, we do have the Randomania Marathon, which will be a week-long event with more than just your usual randomizers that you see here. There will be more randomizers there as well.
All right, and thanks again to the Randomania crew for hosting us this evening, and thanks to Larry for showing off that level up before outside trick. I'm gonna keep that in mind from now on. That was a pretty slick move. So on behalf of everybody here for the Dragon Warrior Randomizer Tournament and Randomania, thanks for watching. Stick around for the next race in a half hour.